Hi, good afternoon. My home language and my first additional class. This is my welcome officially for semester 2. The 11th of August, 2021. And yes, here we are. Semester 2 is rolled in. And I'm sure you feel a bit battle worn as I do after completing semester 1. Let's hope things go a bit smoother and we've learned a lot during this process. I feel that I've learned a lot, a huge learning curve for me, especially the marking load. So we're going to have to strategize this quite carefully this semester. So thanks for bearing with everything, and let's just hope we can get off on the right foot and to a cracking second semester. Okay, let me share my screen with you. There we go, my PowerPoint for my welcome. Let me go into slide share. There we go, the official studio emblem. Faculty of Education and Humanities, here we go, semester 2. And there we go, welcome. And my introduction, some of you have seen a bit of this. I've tried to change it a bit to keep it fresh, okay? So welcome back, here we go again. And just a little message to those of you who are feeling a bit frantic. I'm just saying keep calm. With all my masses of mark queries and issues, I'm just going to say let's just go through this one step at a time, be calm, and let's try and enjoy second semester. We've learned a lot, and hopefully we can progress quite nicely from that. Excuse me. Just a bit about my teaching journey. I started off in South Africa. I am actually a high school teacher, teaching geography and English. That's what I qualified for, English first additional and home language, and I have actually taught all those standards from grade 8 to grade 12. Then I went off to Nelson Mandela University, there we go, which is also in Gqeberha, quite near where I stay, beautiful sea surroundings, lovely university, 5 campuses, 30,000 students, so huge institution, and I taught English for communication studies to most faculties there, teaching them about business English and academic writing principles and so on. Right, then I decided to leave this beautiful Eastern Cape and head out all the way up to the Middle East to Dubai area, which I think you all know, the UAE, where I taught at a BBA, which is a business administration university in a place called Sharjah, one of the Emirates. And there it is, Skyline University College. There is the actual university I taught at, also English composition, advanced composition, business communication, anything to do with English. I was teaching students from a variety of countries, not only local Emiratis, but from Eastern Europe, from Africa, from Nigeria, all over the place. There we go. And from there, I went on to the Higher Colleges of Technology, which is in Ras Al Khaimah, where I again taught composition, business communication, research methods, a variety of courses to the Emiratis. It was teaching at men's campus and women's campus, and all my students were Emiratis. It was a government institution. There we go, Higher Colleges of Technology in Ras Al Khaimah, and that was my last day there, the end of July 2019. And so we moved on to PGCE, the education faculty, teaching English to you, and that was the Montana campus where we had our first get-together, a workshop, just before COVID hit us. And there we are with a variety of your lectures. I'm sure you recognize many of them, plus the Delta staff who've been so fantastic in helping us with everything that we do. There's our Dean, Professor Pat Bean, and our Deputy Dean, Dr. Leanne Browning, as well as a variety of my wonderful colleagues, which we met in the January and we haven't actually really met again. So that's the result of COVID. I'm hoping this might change in the future and there might be some kind of contact between us. Right. So I must ask, how are you feeling at this time as we start the new semester and you're excited to be starting your English method courses again? So how are you feeling today? Happy, sad, angry, maybe, worried, maybe, shy, excited, I hope. I'm surprised. Yes, it's here already, feeling silly, maybe, not embarrassed, but a bit of happiness as well. I'm going to do a Menti again. So I'm going to upload it after this presentation. Mentis are going for 2 days, so you've got until Friday to complete it if you want to do it. Just let me know how you're feeling. Maybe not any of these, maybe something else. Let's see what you're all feeling. I'm also going to do another one with my class tomorrow, my lecture tomorrow, to ask you a few other things. Okay, we did a survey on this. Right, so let's get some information about me. If you are a new student and you don't know who this person is, this is what you need to know. My name is Dr. Marcel Herron, but you can call me Marcel, that's fine. Whatever you feel happiest with. You call me Herron if you like. Just don't call me sir because I am female. Okay. Where do I live? I live in my mailbox, my email, marcelh@stadio.ac.za. I'm always contactable then, and I am quite prompt, I think, in my responses to you. So this is the best way to get hold of me. Always remember to always write your course code in the subject line. So I know that you are TEHF or TEHS, and on the other side, TEFF or TEFS. So I know where to find you on my class list because I really need that information. So yes, I'm also an English teacher, just like a normal teacher, just except much cooler. And I feel the same about all my English students. They are way cooler than any other student as well, because you are cool to teach English. And the other thing is that learning must be fun. If it becomes a drag and a chore and unpleasant and confusing, which I think it might have been for some of you, it's not fun for your students then either. It must be a fun experience. Yes, and a fun experience for you too, I hope. So I hope you're going to enjoy the semester. I think it's going to be quite fun too. Right, well, I'm just going to quickly go over the different units that we're going to look at. It's different to semester one, where we looked at listening and speaking and reading. The learning content is quite different. In unit one, we're going to basically stick to language teaching, grammar teaching. I'm sure many of you have been dying to get onto grammar teaching, but just remember, it's all integrated approaches. You do it with reading and writing, never an isolated activity where you give your students a worksheet with masses of tenses on. We don't teach English grammar like that. It must be related to some kind of context, okay, not isolated. So in my lecture tomorrow, I'm going to look at the importance of teaching language, structure, and use. Why should we teach this? Going on to integrated grammar teaching strategies. How can we teach tenses? We don't teach it by itself. We teach it in context of writing piece or a speaking piece or a reading piece. Then we look at different resources that we can use to support this kind of teaching. Then we look how we're going to assess language structure and use, especially looking at the CAPS document. So those of you who are dying to get more onto CAPS, this is your opportunity to listen carefully to what CAPS has to say about grammar teaching. And then the second part goes on to teaching writing in home language and first additional language classrooms. Writing is one of my passions, and this is why I always like a lesson to be consolidated with some kind of writing task, whether it be a sentence, whether it be a little paragraph, whether it be listing of 2 points, just to reinforce what you were trying to do in the class. So it says here, I write, just write. Get your students to write. It's production, which is much harder than speaking, okay? So get them to use the language because writing is so important. We can look at the different writing practices that they need in the FET and the HL classroom. You're going to then look at writing as a process, and so this is going to lead on to your assignment 2. Grammar teaching is going to be assignment 1 focus, but your actual drafting, revising, editing, and composing processes in writing is going to be a presentation. Yes, you're going to do a PowerPoint presentation for me on how you would teach it if you were presenting a workshop on this topic. We look at different kinds of genres, how we do academic writing, how we do creative writing, how we do poetry writing. So we're going to look at writing in all the different genres. Then we're going to go and look at resources again for writing. And finally, how do we assess writing? Looking again at rubrics. So it's always the content, it's always the writing in that genre, or the speaking or the reading in the genre, then the resources, and then the assessment. Finally, getting to the end of the semester, we're going to look at language in practice, and in particular, we're going to be looking at critical language awareness, to be aware of how we use language, our tone, our word choice, how biased we are. This is important for social practice from the CAPS document. How do we apply this knowledge, and how do we test it as well? How do we use text, different kinds of text, to support critical language use? What about assessment theories within this kind of genre? All the assessments, and we look at tests again, And then finally, your assignment 3 is going to be setting a home language or FAL exam for grammar and for writing. So we're going to put this into practice, what we've learned in grammar teaching, what we've learned in writing teaching, and how do we create an exam using these genres. You cannot go and download this from any of the exam papers because you've got a certain topic which I give you and a piece of reading which you have to use, which is not part of the exam papers. Okay. So first of all, I think you all know this, that distance learning at Stadio follows the FHLE, okay, the flexible hybrid learning experience type of model. So you might say, well, what is a flexible hybrid learning experience approach? Do you know what that actually means? Are you thinking about it? What's that, you might say? Right. Well, there's a little link at the bottom there. You can go to Stadio's webpage. There is a little tab for distance learning, and you can go there and you can read up all about it if you want to. I'll just give you a slight little overview now on how you can actually do this. So what is the FHLE learning model? It's a style of education where you learn by a mix of different approaches. First of all, you might have the traditional face-to-face learning. With distance learning, the only face-to-face you're going to get with me, unless I visit somehow, is going to be on the Zoom classes where you can actually be there and you can question me. There we go. Face-to-face, this is the traditional contact learning. Some of you interestingly said that you prefer this to distance learning. Some of you did prefer distance learning, but in your feedback to me, in your reflection, some of you just are really pining for contact learning where you get hold of me. You can come to my office and you can shout at me, all right? So you prefer that kind of learning. Or you can come to me and say, Marcel, thank you for my wonderful marks. You're such an amazing teacher. And we'll think about that. And also you have your online mode, which you seem to have all the time with the different kinds of approaches that have been used for the distance learning courses. Here we go. That's typical. That's what you do all the time. So the hybrid learning model goes with all these different kinds of practices. It has the face-to-face, which we try and be personalized, especially in email. I think we achieve it. Maybe put in the discussion forums, maybe in the face-to-face Zoom. So although only a very few of you actually attend, I think, and I do get some questions, but this is your opportunity to really interact with me. So if we do have a question and answer type of Zoom, I hope a lot of you will attend this. So it's a blended learning, so you've got to do some things at home and come and practice them in the online area. Maybe it's a bit like your online trackers, it's a bit blended. It's an adaptive learning tools that you need to actually do this, the ECI. You are social distance, so it's a very good way of learning as you're adhering to all COVID rules, health and safety rules. You've got flexible schedules. You can do your work anytime you like. And you need your remote learning tools, your Wi-Fi, your devices, however you're going to do it, to access all this information. Okay, so it's all this mix in the FHLE. Okay, so what does this mean for your classes and your courses? That means that we've got 3 different modes, which I think you all know, but for the new people in the course possibly, you've got the canned, which is what this is at the moment. I'm recording myself on Zoom, and then I'll upload this on ECI for you to watch. There we go, like that. Then we've got the Zoom, which is prescribed whatever time they give us. And that's where you can actually follow in real time and ask questions. Okay, like that. You can wave at me. I can't see you, but I can hear your questions and I can hear your voices because they seem to close it off for my classes. And then you have your Moodle type ECI online activities, could be your online trackers. These are all the different kinds of things that you can do in terms of your learning events. This is a typical week. I'm going to upload the one for this semester. You can see the orange there is the canned lessons. Like you're going to have one which I'll upload tomorrow, or you can have my green is my face-to-face, which is the Zoom type classes. Or you can have the Moodle, which you don't see me in a recording, which might be preferable, and you'll do some kind of task in that time. All right, so there are different numbers. I think for there's about 4 canned and there's about 6 Zoom. I think there are 2 Moodle in the whole setup. So what is a canned lesson? It's a learning event lecture like this is. It's on the course content. I'll be going over unit 1 for this for the next 3 weeks. It might include videos, readings, online tracking activities, forum discussions could all be part of this learning event. Who will do it? You, I think. I mean, independently, although from your essays, I see a lot of you have got learning groups. I think you've got a massive WhatsApp group. I think it goes crazy on that group. I just know what happens when I maybe put something on an email, and then the next thing I've got 10 million people mailing me because they've had some kind of response. So I think that works very well. Where do you have your CAN classes? Well, you find them all on ECI, the recordings. And where can you work on them? Anywhere, as long as you've got Wi-Fi. You can go work on it in bed at college or university, or if you're at Starbucks or Mug and Bean, you can do it while you're having your coffee there. When can you do it? Okay, well, anytime, day or night, whichever's best for you, afternoon, morning. So you give that, you've got that flexibility to choose when you're going to do it. Some people do it in real time, some of them don't. A lot of you do it on weekends. I know those of you that are working seem to do a lot of your activities on weekends. So what you need to do is to go to the dashboard, choose your course, click on there, and what you will see at this point, I think this is the TEFFS 702, it's my short welcome there. In week 1, I will now be uploading this welcome, as well as the Kahoot quiz, as well as your Menti quiz as well, your survey. So do you have to do these CAN classes? Okay, I would say yes, because you need this information often to do an ECI online tracking event. All right, so this, whatever I'm talking about, give this little quiz, and that helps you to do your ECI online tracking quiz, or your assignments sometimes as well. If you don't do it, you will sometimes not be able to complete the tasks or the online tracking activities, although you might not care about them. But I think a lot of you have realized how important they are at the end as assignment 5, and they can really boost your marks somewhat. The second one is your Zoom face-to-face, where you will get a link, which you'll join my presentation, which is done live as well then. So you have no more formal lectures. You don't have to see me standing in front of you lecturing, blah, 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 and you feel frustrated. You can just switch me off and I wouldn't even know that. So you'll have this information and content from the Zoom class. Why do you need it? So you can practice certain things. You can apply this information to assignment. You can extend your understanding. Okay, there we are. This is something like we're doing now. This is the semester 2 introduction and welcome. And there I am lecturing you. So it's this kind of presentation that you're going to get. So the online tutorials and activities on ECI, that is your Moodle type task. It's your online tracking, it's your mini assignments, which you all didn't really like, I think, and your forum discussions, which you seem to like, okay? Why must you do this? Because it's the content from the canned or the Zoom classes are applied, those quizzes that you get, and it can give you support before assessments as well. Where do you get it again? Everything's on ECI in week 1, in week 2, in week 3. What do you need? You need internet and Wi-Fi and data. Of course, that is Maslow's first hierarchy of needs is the need for data and Wi-Fi, otherwise you can't function. And again, when must you do it? Anytime that suits you, before the submission date, of course. Okay. How will FHLE help me? Well, it's more flexible. You can learn when you want to learn, sometimes never, okay? How do you learn? You do classes all at once, or you can break it up into different sections and do some today, some tomorrow, or some on the weekend. There's less class hours. Isn't that nice? No traveling time. You don't travel to get to class anymore. You can just switch on your computer. 6 Zoom, 4 canned, 2 Moodle, and you can choose when and where you want to do them. Totally flexible. This will make you a better graduate. It's a graduate attribute that you can work independently. Okay, you can work actively in real time. You can become responsible. Okay, so these are training you in these attribute fields, and that means you're going to be successful as a graduate. So are they easier, these courses, you might ask? Okay, think about that. I think a lot of you thought they would be easier, but from your reflections, I think it's a different story. They mean that you've got to work quite hard. No, but they are different. So it's not easier, but they're different. You have the same course learning outcomes and same assessments as you would have if you were doing this in contact learning. For success on an FHLE, you need to be, so I said, responsible. You've got to work in your own time, and you've got to manage your own time and do all the courses work, and you've got to do all the online tracking. So submit everything on time, your assignments and your online tracking tasks on time. Participate, please, in the face-to-face Zoom sessions. Ask me questions, put your hand up. I'm sure Gareth or whoever's helping me, if I don't see it, they will stop me and let you speak. Okay, wouldn't that be great? And then actively look for support in the online tutorials, notes, and lectures. Look for support, mail me, ask questions. Don't come to me at the end after everything's over and say, why did I get that mark in assignment 1? And we are in July already. So think about things, act on them, don't let them slide under the bridge. Makes you independent. Yes, you will be able to manage your own time. So that's quite nice to be independent. You can do it when you want to. You don't have to do it at 5 o'clock. You can do it at 2 o'clock, okay? Please check your emails. Be independent. Do that. Your notifications, your ECR updates regularly. Because you will not see me in the classroom or in my office. So this is where I live. I live in my email box and I live in ECR. So that's where you'll always find me and have active contact with me all the time. So have you been listening to all this, what I've been spewing? So I'm going to upload a Kahoot quiz for you to find out, and I can see who are the top of the pops again. It's 11 short questions again on how accurately you have been listening to this welcome video. You have until the 16th of August at midnight to complete the fun quiz. It's not serious, but do it. It's fun and it's easy. Multiple choice, yes, no, true, false, that type of question. And that is what it is. Kahoot TEFFS Semester 2 Introduction Fun Quiz. I will upload that on ECI as well. So wishing you a successful semester 2. Happy new semester to us all. I think we all need this happiness in our life. And just an interesting little quote that I've got here: there's no elevator to success. Okay, you're not going to just be taking a zoom up into the sky. There's no elevator for it. You have to take the stairs. Okay, you've got to grind it out. You've got to work. It's not going to just slip into your hands. You've got to actually work actively. Ask questions. Look for information. Contact me. Don't let things slide. Take control of your learning. Okay, so I'm going to say bye for now. I will be uploading week 1, lecture 1 tomorrow, along with the online tracking, and that will have to be handed in on the following Sunday. I think that's the 22nd. All right, so nice to be with you all again. Stay safe, stay warm. It's a glorious day in Quebec, and I hope you're all doing well. I'll chat soon. Bye.